Hi everyone, we're going to make an origami gift box today. This is a traditional Japanese origami fold that's called a masu box. And we're going to make one a little larger and one a little smaller so they kind of fit into each other like a tiny little gift box. You can make these any size you want, but we're using a 6-inch by 6-inch square of paper today. You can use different sizes of paper to make these boxes different sizes. A 12-inch by 12-inch scrapbook paper makes a nice size box too. These will be pretty small, but it's good to practice and learn to do the small version. So what we're gonna do is I took some white construction paper and we decided to just decorate the construction paper with some kind of a winter or a Christmas time decoration or design. And when we did that, then that was going to be kind of like the wrapping paper, like the top part of the box. And then we used a red paper for the bottom. So make a couple if you want to try it out and see what you get. And then this was just red computer paper, copy paper, so it's a little bit lighter weight than the construction paper. You can use any color paper you want. You just want to cut it pretty close to a square to make things easier for your folding. So we're going to do 2 valley folds, making a cross pattern, vertical and horizontal. And then we're going to flip that over, and turning it over is an important step. And then we're going to do 2 more valley folds. We're going to fold over diagonally twice, so there's an X. So think of it as a cross, flip, and an X. Once you have the X, then make sure those are valley folds, the X ones, and then we're going to do what's called a blintz fold, where we're going to fold the corners in to the center. So you're going to make like triangle shapes that fold into the middle, and as each triangle folds into the middle, it will make the square smaller. So you have a smaller square design there, and the open flaps need to be on the top for the next part. Make sure all your creases are as sharp as you can make them, and as you continue to get better at this, you'll be able to make this a little bit easier. Then I'm going to fold the bottom edge up, and I'm going to make it even with the very center and make a crease. Okay, so it's like a rectangle. And then I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. I'm going to make that crease so they go right together like a cabinet fold, where the cabinet doors close right next to each other, but they don't overlap each other. Okay, then I'm going to open the doors of that cabinet up again, and I'm going to repeat the same 2 folds on the left and the right side. So I find it easiest if I rotate it 90 degrees and just bend it up from the bottom, and then rotate it around and bend it there. And then I'm going to open up both of those sides again. So now I should have this square that has kind of almost like a grid pattern laid out on it, side to side. This part is the next part. This is kind of the trickiest little move to figure out for the box, which is where we're going to form the actual background, or the actual sides of the box. So we're going to open up 2 sides, and then we're going to fold up the bottom edge and fold down the top edge, and those are going to form the walls of the box. It'll look a little bit like a tunnel or a bridge or a boat or something like that at first. Okay, and so here's the move that always throws people off. But you're going to pinch those sides together and lift up the side, and that's going to form the other side of the box. And you're going to flip that down underneath, okay, and drop it into the inside of the box so you can sharpen up the corners a little bit, okay? So press in with those two pieces and pinch them together, okay? If your creases are all going the correct direction, it should just drop in, okay? It should kind of want to go into that position. And then you wrap that over the side, and the triangle piece forms the bottom of the box. So that is what you want to do to form the bottom part of the box. So we just use red paper for that. To help everything hold together, you can kind of pinch the sides and sharpen up the edges. Okay, if they're kind of rounded, you want to sharpen them up and make them more square for the edges. So that's the bottom part of the box. Okay, then the paper that you are going to use for your top or your lid of the box that has the decoration on it, this is what you're going to do to make that top part. Most of the steps are the same, but there's one important step that's a little bit different. Okay, make sure that the design you want to see is on the top when you start. And you're going to do those two valley folds, horizontal and vertical. So you're making that cross, and then like before, you're going to flip it over, and then you're going to do two more valley folds, but this time diagonal. So you do triangle, open up, and triangle. And so you have the X. So the cross, the flip, and the X. And you're going to blintz fold like we've done in the last one. You're going to take those corners and move them to the middle. So you're going to form little triangle shapes. And as you do all four of those, you'll take that larger square and transform it into a smaller square. And then here's the move that's a little bit different. Last time we did the cabinet fold, we made sure that it went all the way to the very center. This time, we're going to leave a small gap between there. If we leave a little bit of a gap, the walls of the box will be slightly shorter, okay? And the box will actually be a bit wider, okay? If you do not make the lid a little bit bigger than the bottom of the box, then you won't be able to slide the bottom into the lid. You won't be able to get the lid over it. So when I do this, I'm going to fold it up towards the center, but I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch before I get to the center, okay? This is a bit of trial and error. Depending how thick your paper is, you might need to leave more space, but you can see that those edges there, okay, the doors of the cabinet don't actually touch each other in the middle. There's actually a little bit of a gap between those. They don't touch in the middle. There's a little bit of a gap. So that's exactly what you want for this. Then open it up and repeat those steps for the other side, okay? If you make those walls significantly shorter, the box will be a lot wider, and you can make sort of like low, wide boxes this way, or you can make even taller, almost cube-shaped boxes, doing the walls different sizes. So experiment with that. Open up two of the sides like we did before, fold the bottom and then the top up, and those are going to form the first walls of the box. Okay, still got that bridge shape there, that boat shape. Push in the corners, pinch them together, flip it down, and then pinch that into place. Pinch into the middle, pinch and lift it up, fold that down, and then go ahead and sharpen up your corners like you did last time. And if everything works out okay, you should be able to slide that red box into the other one, and it'll just be a tiny bit shorter and should work pretty well. If you make it too small, it'll be really hard. You may have to like almost smash the box to get it in there. And if it's a little too wide, that red box will just fall out. It'll be too loose. It'll kind of knock around in there and it won't hold itself together. So hopefully that worked out for you. Give it a try and see what you think.